Hey everybody, hopefully you didn't hear that inappropriate comment about buttons, but so we have a special guest tonight, Bodi, a man of many things, many hats. He's not wearing any hats tonight though.
I left him at the door.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Hold on, I forgot one thing. Oh my gosh, this is the worst. Yeah, I gotta fix the names. Sorry, going to the live stream docket. All right, so this week we're going to be going over a few things with Bodi on here. We're going to be talking some two-team takedown and how that's going and when the next match is going to be. We're actually going to be live streaming it this upcoming Saturday. I think the contestants have told me that it's going to be about 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, so everyone please look forward to that. And then we also got the one-shot coming up this weekend, so that's where we're going to be doing early part in the day. Ryan said that we're kind of at capacity, but if you want to sign up, please sign up. Make us put more people in there. So that's always appreciated if people want to join. So, right. And Bodi is going to be in the booth with us. Yeah. It was quite helpful because I wasn't keeping up with anything else, and I could just be like, "All right, we're doing this, and yeah, thank you, Bodi. We got it filled in now. Thanks. You're the best." Nice. So Bodi, you go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Right.
There we go. I accidentally had it muted. My bad.
Love it.
Testing.
Love it. Hulkamaniacs love it.
so sorry, you didn't miss much. It was just me only talking and them giving like the answers to life. So I mean, you missed it. We can't recreate that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm spent.
That was capture lightning in a bottle once in a lifetime, and yeah, hit the bed.
So yeah, Bodi's going to be sitting in with us for possibly all or part of the commentary this weekend on the one shot. So we look forward to that, and yeah, he's excited about it. So beyond that, so what do you normally do on the interwebs, Bodi?
Man, I don't know if we can talk about that. No, I'm just kidding.
So what about
We weren't
98% of all of everybody else does?
Okay, cool, because I cleared that before I got here. I dumped my cash right away. We do the podcast, the Juice Pro Wrestling podcast. I jump in on that. To record with my two bands too. You can find me everywhere on the interwebs with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as content goes, and then playing dice once in a while. And I haven't been around for a lot of games because I've just been working.
Yeah, I always feel bad when I can't watch other people's stuff because it's like there's a lot of times where me and Robert are just like putting together videos or we're doing video ideas and everything like that. Joe's the one that's basically out there talking to everyone and meeting everyone and making sure everyone knows that we're out there. That's kind of what Joe likes to do, is let everyone know we're here.
It's not that I like to do it. It's that that's what I do best, is talk shit.
But yeah, I try to watch as much as I can, all the content. And I mean, I'm not into wrestling. I'll be honest with you. So it's like I've tried to skim through a little bit of your wrestling podcast, and it's like, you guys are big shit, because I did not realize how big you guys were. That's crazy. But yeah, I was just skimming through it before, and I was like, oh wow, okay, you guys are pretty big, and you guys have actually met some of the pro wrestling people and all that. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
Actually, the
yeah.
last time we spoke,
Sure.
Bodie, you said you were going to have the Miz or somebody related to the Miz on. I think that was the last time we spoke. That was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh man, I don't think it was the Miz. I'm trying to remember who it was.
I just remember
We were
being really
talking about.
excited about it and wanting to tune into that episode. So I think that was the one that you mentioned before the show started that you guys just wrapped up. So looking forward to hearing about that one.
Yeah, I remember so many episodes and guests that sometimes get mixed up. But we did Sam Adonis. He was related to Corey Graves, who's in WWE. And then we did Sabu. We had Sabu, if you remember ECW, old school ECW. Had him and his manager Bill Alfonso on. Met Kurt Angle, like come out to him, Mick Foley, Bubba Ray. Well, you know, it's been fun. And then this stuff happened, and it's like, oh man, I can't really do that. It was rad.
Yeah. I mean, you make the best of it, and if people can if you could get people to talk to you on webcam like we're doing now, it's pretty cool. It's just not the same as being able to talk with people face to face because you get to see their reaction.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree with you there.
So interesting.
I think the coolest one on my stream when you were with me, I think it was last Monday, when we were doing the pigskin and the wrestling and stuff like that. You guys had a chance to talk to George Romero, and that for me was just blew my mind. That's awesome.
Wow.
George C. Romero was on because we do a subsidiary too. So we have Juice Pro Wrestling podcast, and we have like an offshoot that's JP Dub podcast, which we talk more about movies, music, games, and stuff like that. So a lot of music guests on and stuff
Still
like
waiting
that.
on
So
my invitation for that one, by the way.
yes, I still got you. Still got you. Don't worry.
Joe's forcing his way onto other people's stuff all the time with the guests.
We had talked about it. We had talked about it a long time ago. I think it was like the middle of last year. And I was like, man, I'm really into movies. Let's talk about that for a minute. He was like, we do a podcast on that. And I was like, oh hell.
Yeah, we haven't done like any like movie review shows in a while. I know we did that October one for Halloween and stuff, which was cool, but I do have you in mind, so you're still there. You're still in the back pocket.
Just giving you crap, man. You're busy enough.
I still got time for everyone. I try to.
Man, you're one of the nicest people I know in the community and stuff like that, man. There's never a time you're not willing to help anybody out, and you're really cool to talk to and easy approachable. And when we play a game and stuff like that, you're just like one of the easiest going people I've met personally. So definitely appreciate you out there.
All right, enough of the gushy stuff. Enough of the gushy stuff. Let's get into the conspiracy. No.
You know, Bodi, as you know, with our last guest, Jimmy O'Brien, we asked the hard hitting questions, the really tough ones. So let's get right into those.
No rules questions though.
Fine.
Screw all that. We don't answer rules questions.
Shit. That's all I had written down. I just had like notebook, 20 questions, all about rules. I'll just dump them in the WizKids forum and wait a year for them to answer.
Wait, exactly. It needs to be 11
Sorry,
months.
guys. I'm just kidding.
It needs to be 11 months right after the card rotates out of modern format.
There you go.
Perfect. I do have a question though on your band, which I love hearing you talk about it. Right on the topic of music, and for the longest time on your Facebook profile pic, you had somebody in a mask singing to the crowd, and that was an amazing pic. Was that you? I just got to clear that up. Is that you?
Yeah.
That is you. That is amazing.
The mask.
Yeah, well, that's amazing that you're in a metal band, man. That's awesome. I know a handful of people that are in bands, let alone metal bands.
Yeah, that is
cool to say.
For sure. Oh yeah, that was I think the pic you're talking about was at Full Terror Assault. It's a huge festival down in Illinois area, like right on the border of Southern Illinois. It's called Cave and Rock. Huge outdoor festival, and pretty much bring your own beer. Everyone camps. It's like just a huge open area. The biggest thing I found out was that's where the Gathering of the Juggalos used to be for a few years.
I think we took that over up here in Ohio.
No, Ohio took the title on that one.
We love our clowns here.
do. Trust me.
You accidentally trip over a few good jugglers and you're like, what the? All right, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, right.
And funny enough, at a festival like that's how I met my wife. At a big
Never
outdoor
know.
metal festival.
Right?
Well, hey, man. I mean, that's great. That is awesome, though.
It's fun. It's definitely a rush playing up there and
So
miss
what is?
playing shows right now.
Yeah, you missed. Oh, I can imagine, man. So, talking about that, what's the name of your band, and how has the quarantine affected your ability to go out and do shows, or even, I don't want to say get paid, but just get your name out there?
Yeah, it's Sexual Atrocities. I'm the vocalist in that band. I do wear a mask, and most of the band wear ups. So it's just a part. We call ourselves Beer City Party Grind,
Nice.
and have a good time. And we take beer and booze to people out in the crowd. You never know. Have to come to one of our shows and find out.
Heck yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, you'd have a great time. Yeah, we it put a lot of brakes on our momentum because we're going to be heading into the studio in April to track drums, and then we're going to go to our guitar player's house. He's got everything else, and we're going to do everything there to save money and cost and on the production aspect of it, of pressing the CDs and getting all that out. So, and when the quarantine happened, it sucked because it was like, damn, we're like on fire, going momentum. Songs written. We had like almost the whole thing done. We're starting to get into jamming. I know they've gotten together a couple times. I'm hoping to join them soon, this week or next week. To be the first time since like the first week of March.
Yeah.
Played a show 5th or 6th, and that was the last time we got together as a band, pretty much.
Plus, if you can jam a little bit, you guys might be able to come up with some more music that might be able to put a different song on there, or hone it a little bit more. It sucks because if you got the momentum going in to do the studio time, it's like you're ready to do it, you're ready to throw down, and you just want to get it done. And it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess we have to do that. But there's lots of times where bands have been going in to do the studio stuff, and then all of a sudden something comes up where life event happens, and I mean it's similar. It sucks, but I mean, as long as you guys just keep doing what you're doing and do the thing that got you the momentum, and doing shows and being stage presence for the most part is what I can see from your band. Is you guys are really good stage presence.
Oh yeah,
that's
I love that
what
high energy.
Yeah, that's what we're known for, is the stage show, a high energy impact. We just bring it. So it's
get the crowd moving,
start the party.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the well, it's funny because the last show we had at Full Terror Assault videos, I'll have to send a link to you guys, but in one of the videos there's dudes with lightsabers in the crowd. They're battling each other and stuff. I'm like, dude, that's the sickest. Never would have thought I'd be on stage playing in front of a bunch of people and there'd be lightsabers in the crowd. I was like, yeah.
Did you call them out? You called them out, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for my Sith and Jedi friends over there for battling in the
Yeah.
in the pit. I was trying to get a golf cart circle pit going too. There's people riding on golf carts. I'm like, dude, start it up. 3 or 4 of those guys in there. Do this. But no, I couldn't get that to go, but lightsabers, so that was cool.
That would have been awesome.
A wild ass circus going on.
So impromptu demo
A duel
derby.
of the fates. Yeah, a duel of the fates in the middle of a circle of golf carts, rocking out at 2 miles per hour. Yeah, man.
Yes.
That's the name of the great song right there.
Exactly. Getting stuck in the dirt.
Oh.
Hey,
Then eventually being
Rob.
carried over their heads.
Exactly.
Hey Rob, that's your next title for your album right there. Rocking out at 2 miles per hour.
Perfect.
That's how it feels being a metalhead and getting older.
Right. Oh man, it takes me longer to recover from shows, I'll tell you that much.
Oh man, I remember the last one I went to and stuff like that. At least 2 days. At least 2 days to recover to at least full, or I would say about 3/4 momentum.
And I went from like not manning the merch booth area, merch table, in the crowd drinking and having fun. Now I'm like, no, I'll just kick it back at the merch table. You guys go have fun. I'll wait till I go on stage, hurt myself, and then I'll come back.
sorry about that. So about
So
the energy that you're talking about your shows, like what's the, I guess, how many shows have you done in a consecutive period during the height or during, what you would remember as your most memorable experience, a show weekend
That's your ultimate power.
oh man,
or tour? I guess your most memorable tour experience at the height of all that energy.
we done it. We did a few. I was probably like 5. We try not to do like ton. Oh, we haven't really gone on like a huge road trip. We'll do like 4 or 5, 3. That's what we used to do. We pretty much like what we like to do is fests. We like hitting the festivals. It's our favorite thing.
So in the
Um,
festivals, do you guys play like the whole weekend, or do you just show up one day and then do the
we
rest
just
of the
play.
day?
We just play one day and then just hang out the rest of the weekend and
Okay.
kick it with friends and fans and stuff like that. Um, we've one of the most memorable moments was going down to Mexico, touring Mexico, and playing down there and stuff like that. That was fun.
That would be pretty
Nice.
badass to be able to travel abroad and do the different kinds of like
Oh yeah,
music and the way that their metal goes and stuff like that.
I know. Yeah, and it's crazy. It blew my mind when I went down there because like people know who we are, and we're just a bunch of jabronis from Wisconsin. People know who we are, and they're like stoked to see us and stuff like that. I remember I went down there with my other band, a Mass Murder Messiah. I went down there and I didn't really think much of it, but there's people that heard of us, and I was like, holy crap, this is weird. One dude like was tearing up because he got to meet the band, and I was like, that blew me away. I was like, dude, I would have never thought. That's just. I was like, whatever you want, man. Here, you can have it. It's like kind of one of those moments. But yeah, he
I'm
was
gonna
super grateful
I'm gonna
about
tear
it.
up
So
whenever
cool.
we meet you at Worlds or
I will too, probably. I'm a softie.
Origins next week
if
or next year.
Worlds,
Next week.
yeah, we don't know when this
Yeah.
thing's gonna be over, but yeah, at those festivals they have them pretty well. Like each band has to be off at a certain time, otherwise you piss the people off that are organizing it, and they're like, you need to be off within 25 to 30 minutes. Don't go over, don't go short, otherwise we'll not have you back.
Yeah. There are people, some bands that kind of take longer. If you've been around, you've been doing the shit for a while, man. It's like, no, you just it's second nature to you. Like you get up, set up, play, boom, tear down, and you're done. But you don't waste time hanging around. Sometimes you're drunk enough. I will. Bodi, get your ass off the stage. All right, leave me alone. No, it's like that. Yeah, you do on a tight ship in a lot of these bigger festivals, like Chicago Domination Fest, Death Fest, Terra Assault Fest, fests around the world too. It's like that. They have stage managers and stuff where it's like, boom, you're down, and sound guys up there already, and the mic's out of the way, and half of the equipment's off the stage in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, and if you're too big to like do shit yourself, you always just hire a roadie or have some roadie tour with you. So
Yep,
Or
that's
hope
what
you
we
got
did.
some friends willing
My
to huff some
buddy.
stuff around.
Exactly. I have a buddy here that he's like a rich guy and our roadie, and here you do everything. You can. All right, cool. Yep. We're just gonna hang back. You get all the gear off the stage, and I'll do them like that. It helps out a lot. So it's cool to have like friends and that'll help out.
yeah, I did that when I was younger for a band or two, and it was pretty fun because went on tour with them, got to do stuff like that. But yeah, it's just literally like, we're thanking you for doing this, and that's the extent of it. Shit.
Right.
But yeah. All right. So now, what do you guys want to talk about now? Do you have any more concert question, guys, or any more music stuff?
No.
All right.
Let's move on to the really exciting stuff, Dice Masters.
Ooh. Nobody wants to hear about me playing music and stuff too.
We're talking.
I could
about,
talk
like,
about
back in the
experiences
day,
and stuff
yeah.
like that in shows
Oh,
all
man.
day long. And one of these days we'll sit down, have a drink, and we'll definitely do that.
I'll
Maybe
tell
we
you
can all do it on a podcast, eh? No.
Oh.
Say those things we can't talk
I'll
about now.
tell you some road stories off of the records.
Oh, okay. They may or
Getting
not.
pulled
They
over in
may or may
Mexico.
not. There you go. They may or may not involve warrants in other states or countries.
Yeah. Oh, we did actually get pulled over in Mexico for like it was crazy. Raleigh, dude, like these are sitting down on the side of the road with M16s and they have to do a van check and stuff and searching our luggage and everything. And I'm like, it's just kind of like what happens, and I'm just standing off of the road and we're all standing on the side of the road. And there's looking around, there's federales, dude, with the M16s. And I'm just like, dude, it's crazy. Like,
They don't screw around.
Away? Oh.
Well, enough about that boring stuff.
Exactly. Screw that.
No, for real, though, I would love, like Mike said, I would love to sit down and chat with you about the road tour memories and all that.
Yeah, anytime.
So, Bodi, the reason I know you kind of well enough is that you've been in a lot of the tournaments that we've put on and watched a lot of the tournaments that we've put on, and you've always been like interacting with us and making sure we know what's going on. Even if you were just like not in the tournament and just spectating, you would have a conversation with us, and that was much appreciated because a lot of times people don't like to talk and chat. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah. What was
your
first?
Pretty much...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's pretty much where I like met a lot of as we're through the GR game room chats and the tournaments and stuff.
What was your first tournament that you played in?
Online or ever?
Ever, then online if you want.
All right. First tournament ran down in a shop, comic/game shop in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is just south of where I live. I live in Racine, which is between Milwaukee and Chicago. So, I was down at this comic and game shop. I would go in there because they had Dice Masters, and I met the that was running the tournaments and the games and stuff. And he was like, yeah, Dice Masters, we play like Friday nights and tournaments and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll make it down. I'm like, finally, like, I think it was like 5 or 6 months later. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. Well, I ran a Black Bolt Medusa team.
Okay.
Back when that did that just come out? Set?
Is that Deadpool?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that Deadpool was just out a couple months after being out, I think.
That would have been early 2017, or was it spring 2017?
Yeah.
That was right around that area. And I went in and ran that, and I ended up placing second. Oh, this is my first like actual tournament playing people other than my buddies, play around the table with her, Oh, this is something that I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give her a shot, and I was already looking into playing competitively, and it really drew me into the game even more, just playing casually. Oh, when I went in there and actually won with this team, I was like, I started having more fun. I was like, oh, there's a little bit more to this. The dude I ran up against just buzzsawed the hell out of me, but it was fun. He had like was running back for more rare Colossus, super rare Jocasta, and that's like the only things he needed, and he just whooped my ass. It's great to see, though. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, I couldn't even get like anything set up. And by the time I did, I was already like game over, 1 foot out the door. Yeah, it was fun. You're gonna say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was gonna say those early teams that just like they had the 2 or 3 cards, they would just buzzsaw through everyone unless someone else had a 2-card combo, which would be Guy Gardner or something like that, and it's just like you can't come back from that. It's stupid.
Not at all. No, I don't remember seeing a lot of those. His though, saw a lot of Babs. I remember that. It was like that was one card I really wanted. When I saw people having it, I was just kind of like, "Ooh, it's shiny," and I think like, "Wow," because I haven't been around the competitive scene really,
Right?
Just casually playing, seeing like those cards out in action. That's cool.
And then, when was your? So that just totally got you hooked playing it competitively, or is that just like really just got you into Dice Masters as a whole? Were you already into it already?
Already into it, just haven't really played competitively. And when I found out there was games going down in my local shop, I was like, oh, okay. well, let me get a little bit better here. Let me hone this combo, and then I'll run this combo. The thing like. And then I actually did a lot of research on like the reserve pool. I was reading a lot of stuff on that. I was listening to the Double Burst podcast at the time too. A lot of that. And,
That's one of my favorites back in the day.
yeah, it's just like everything that was out, I could get my hands on. Reddit, the Dice Masters Reddit that was just popping back in that time. I think it was like those three were like the main, and then I found the Discord and eventually and all this other stuff. But I was like really looking and doing some research into playing competitively and see what went into it, and looking at past teams and watching S Worlds games and stuff.
Cool, that's cool. And what was your first online tournament then?
I think it was the one after Virtual Worlds, the first Virtual Worlds. Whatever tournament was after that. I remember if it was the second Virtual Worlds, or it was something else.
So the first Virtual Worlds was in 2016. It was in summer of 2016,
Right.
and there was a tournament right after that, and it was man, what was it? It was the winter. It was the winter tournament. It was the faux. I don't know what theme it was.
Full
Like the
Worlds.
Phonets?
It might have been.
That's
So the first online tournament that I remember was Phonats, and that was in the earlier on in the year. Faux Worlds came much later on. It came closer to Christmas actually. In 2016. That's whenever I started talking with you, Bodi, and I had been talking with you, Mike, for a couple months since Phonats.
Okay. Yeah.
We had been testing.
Yeah, it was around that time that I played online. It was earlier that I played competitively in the shop. Maybe in the shop it was 2016 that I started playing like competitively.
I'm just kind of rolling together right now.
Yeah, dude, I can't. Yeah, my brain's mush anyway, so I can barely remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Oh. Yeah, that was my first taste of the online, and I ran a Firefly.
Oh,
Big
Nice.
Firefly Merlin. Bunch of bolts, threw it together, see what I did. I think I actually hit up 16 cut, and then Michael Lee just put the boots to me. Stop the mud holding me in the corner. Oh yeah, drop that elbow from the top and right green rises to the top. That was over, man. It was over before I get started.
yeah, I think the first tournament that I was actually in was our first team takedown tournament. And then
First online tournament.
yeah, that was my first online tournament. I played before that. I played like just draft. I really love draft, even though I'm awful at it. I did win one, but it was in the sea of like so many releases, and people were kind of worn out, and I just I snuck in and stole one. But yeah, and I haven't really been playing in all that many tournaments because I'm trying to organize and make sure everything runs smooth. But man, the second Faux Worlds, or the Faux Worlds that I came in second, that was the best I've ever played, and that's probably the best I'll ever play. That's it. So
Oh, you did pretty good at the WKO we were at.
yeah, I made a mistake, and yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to bring up bad memories.
I almost beat a
So-
previous world champion.
I love to hear him talk about it because Rob always gives him shit about it, and he's just like, ah. So Bodi, on the topic of firsts, what was your first Dice Master set to get into?
Get into that was a toss up. I think actually I started getting into Justice League because that's what was around.
Nice.
Age of Ultron, I believe, just came out. I want to say.
It was in that nice little 3-month period.
Because I remember,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like in that window. It was around that time that I could still get AVX stuff from the local shop too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Remember loading up on AVX packs. It was Justice League and then Age of Ultron, and then Uncanny stuff. But the cool thing was that my buddies were playing it. They would buy a lot of packs and any other extras they would give to me, and
Nice.
then I got my starter set of got actually like 3 starter sets in a row. I got AVX, Justice League, and Age of Ultron.
Nice.
You got some really good starters then.
Yeah, those are the best ones. So,
Yeah, totally. That's what I started with, and then like I said, my buddies would have like an extra die and a card, and be like, "Here, I already got like 3 of these commons, so here I have one." And then first super rare I pulled was Chikasta. Loved.
Oh,
That's
choice.
a good
Love
purchase.
at first
Yeah,
sight.
nice super.
That was
rare
my
for your
first super rare was Chikasta.
I think mine was Black Canary out of the Justice League set.
It's not bad, huh?
I was happy.
Would have been.
mine was just Joker from the Batman set that I pretty much immediately gave to Rob.
Mine was the super rare Red Dragon from BFF.
Ooh, nice. That's
Ooh.
another great one.
Been using
That
that
is.
ever since I cracked
Mhm.
it.
That's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, it's one of mine. Actually, I'll never forget that.
Iconic art too from the D&D from way back when.
Yep.
I remember a
From
buddy
the
of mine
fourth
had that
edition
poster.
handbook.
Really cool.
Is there any way that you could maybe show? I know that you do a lot of custom stuff, like you do custom mats and you do some custom cards and stuff like that. Is there any way that you could show us some and maybe some of the ones
sure.
you're pretty proud of?
Some might say
Yeah.
we might have prearranged something like that.
Oh man, just a coincidence. I have like these windows up that I can just pop into.
Oh, lucky enough for
Slide
me, I
your
asked
DMs every night.
such a rando question.
I know, just like came out of nowhere.
No
fun.
teleprompter or nothing. I swear there's not somebody down here with cue cards.
Bet you got a teleprompter.
Oh no!
Well,
Why is it going to that? Hold on.
While
Hold on.
Oh,
he's sharing
this
his
guy.
screen and while he's trying to figure it out, let's
Oh.
F's in the chat for Matt Jordo, who opened a super rare Justice League Flash as his first super rare.
Oh, it's the worst.
F's in the chat.
All right, there we go. The right one is up now. There we go. All right, there we go. We're there. There.
Oh, nice.
Little
Oh,
Iron
so, yeah, I've
Maiden.
Right. I've been doing kind of like Lantern Wars just for fun series.
They need to continue that series. So I take it War of Light was one of
Yeah.
your favorite sets?
Yes, I loved War of Light.
Okay.
I always felt like it was kind of like to me a set that wasn't really. There should have been more with it. You should have been able to play with it longer and more. I feel like it was kind of like it was there, played with it for a few months, and then it was gone. To me, it was. It was because I was playing everything else in older sets or something. But I don't know. To
No.
me, it felt like.
I agree with you, and I think there was a lot of
Okay.
power creep back in the day that kind of overshadowed the strength of War of Light. Because if you look at War of Light
Right.
as a set within itself, drafting capabilities are
Oh my
just
God, it's
through the
amazing.
roof. Like there's
Yeah.
so much there that get overshadowed by 2 cards.
Right.
Yeah, it's just insane.
So yeah, I've been doing this series. I did like the Red Lanterns. I got them completed. Yeah, like this Necron art. So I got Necron. I got Mike's favorites here too. Airstorm,
Oh,
aka Deathstorm.
bro, was that the Enterprise that the Necron was enslaving over there?
I believe so.
That's awesome.
I
Nice.
think so. That's what it looked like. Yeah. I think it was a Sith. Scythe or however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Here's some if you want to check out some of these Red Lanterns.
I love that Deathstorm.
Love me some Red Lanterns, man. That's a color that they should have explored more.
I believe so. Red Lantern is my favorite lanterns, and kind of disappointed.
Gosh, I feel like
some of the cards.
I feel like they could almost do a campaign box for each one of the color lanterns.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, no kidding.
Or a team pack. Would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, team for sure. I redid the Bleeze, like the actual Controlled Rage one. I feel like that's such a good card and never really got to see its moment.
So something that DC did that kind of
Yeah.
screwed the set over in
I love
general
that. That's good.
was they didn't give enough. They didn't give enough backstory to each of the characters. They did like a story spotlight during the War of Light run, And so like they have all these tragic backstories, right? But they don't expound any further on it. Even at the conclusion of War of Light, they don't even expound on that. And it's just like,
Oh,
man,
they
there's
don't.
all these good characters. In fact, in the Green Lantern CGI series that was in Cartoon Network, I don't know, you remember watching that, Bodhi?
I caught some of it. I really want to get like the DC network to catch up on all that because it was actually really good.
So the 2 seasons that I did catch from that, they actually went deeper into the lore of the Red Lanterns and the Blue Lanterns and the Green Lanterns, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dexter.
Yeah.
I don't know if these are popping up quick.
Have
I'm
you
just
ever
trying to give
posted
them-
in our art channel ever?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
do that.
I don't think I've. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think I've posted some of these.
Drawing board is exactly for this kind of stuff, and man, it's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
The detail that goes into it is really nice.
So Dexter's
Appreciate that.
backstory is a tearjerker, a real tearjerker.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah, it is. Anybody who loves kitties.
I like kitties.
I like kitties.
God, that sounds so
Here's
weird.
a Red Lantern man I made.
Oh, dude, that looks badass.
Yeah,
I think-
no, the
didn't
mats
you-
are great.
You shared this one not too long ago, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I popped this one up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember whenever I first saw it, I was like, this is amazing. And you've got
Thank
the
you.
death, the rebirth, and the blood magic and the baptized. That's awesome.
Yeah, rage, hatred, just
Oh,
in blood.
man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This one was fun to make. I had a lot of fun. I always wanted to make like a Red Lantern man. I was like, man, Red Lanterns don't get a lot of love, man. One I real quick though, I threw this because I know Mike's seen some of it.
And hold up, I see some Space Marines over there, huh?
See that? This is the Transformers set
I
I
was
made.
hoping hoping you'd show some of these off.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
I talk a storm about these. Yeah, these are great.
I was so
There's
excited whenever
Bumblebee.
you first showed me those.
Oh, thank you.
And these are all flip cards, right?
Yeah, Transform is flip. So I made
These cards are for fun. Bodi's not selling them. Please,
Nope.
no one think that this is an advertisement for selling. So
No.
Oh,
These
this
are
isn't
completely
anything- this
custom.
is-
These are for fun.
okay, yeah.
I did these just for the hell of it because I wanted to see Transformers and Dice Masters at prizes, selling them. They are fun.
Yeah.
Just build and look at and what could have been. Like, then there's the flip side of Bumblebee. So if he transforms, side stays down and then he goes to this.
Nice. Man, I really like the transform cards that I think in Transformers that would be fun to like have things that would force them to flip back to make it less beneficial, because I think the flip cards that actually flip over for something happening is cool. I think there should be some negative ones that the one side is too powerful, then your opponent can flip it over if they
Ooh.
meet certain criteria. It would be cool.
I think that's a good mechanic,
yes.
like a basic action or like some kind of action card or die or something like that. That would, but you have like a really powerful flip on one side, but you can force a flip. Ooh, that's cool.
Did give Chaz too much?
Man, I'm telling you, seeing that just reminds me of the Jazz from the Gen 1 cartoon.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. I don't know
saw
what
it.
we're gonna do about this, Optimus. Like the way he spoke is just hilarious.
It was the best.
I love that cartoon.
But one thing I did too is I kind of took this idea from DM Armada. He had an idea for like a team leader card. Oh, sorry, DM Armada. Your idea. Don't be mine.
Hey, at
But
least
yeah,
you're
this would be
admitting
like-
to it.
Right. And it's based on the Planeswalker in Magic.
Okay.
So, they would get a counter,
like-
for example.
Or like rigorous training, like that. It would just be a character slot that you can't, do anything with aside from the static effect.
Exactly. But once you get the counter on his team leader and he flips over, you have these list of options to choose from. pay
man,
2
that's so
shields and do
awesome.
this, pay 3
Ooh,
shields to do that, or pay 4 shields to do that.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
Mostly because I know how that kind of works because of Magic. But yeah, that's cool.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's really sweet.
Reminds me of Nicobolus.
So, here we go. One of these. Spikelet Wiki, give him an ally. Him in there.
Oh, nice.
I like the die that you're using. That's pretty funny.
You like that?
Yeah.
I had to. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, I just don't have Autobots. I have Decepticons, and I'll try not to take up too much of your time anymore with this, but
No, it's fun.
These are great.
This is pretty much all we planned for. So you're good. Everyone can see the document. We didn't plan for much.
favorite is this Soundwave.
That art is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I found a lot of killer art for Transformers, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot of good stuff out there.
Think
Soundwave is a token generator.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
I like
spitting out
token
tapes.
generator in any game because it's like it's hard to deal with because unless you have things that just like clear a board or something like Rachel and Hope, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's hard to deal with.
So I got a question for you, Bodi. In creating these cards, because
Excuse
I
me.
know you and I talked about it on the side during creation. How difficult is templating these abilities? How
To
difficult
first
is wording them?
wording them, like trying to come up with abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Depends. Sometimes you struggle. You don't want to. Sometimes you just throw something in there that's already been used just to use it. Sometimes it can get difficult. Especially with try not to make something too powerful or over powerful. And if you do, you want to try and have something that kind of counter it too. You know what I mean?
I think that's what a lot
Like
of
this
people
one.
do. They just make it too powerful. It's like, of course they'll never print that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. The contestants here I have up. I kind of came up with a retreat word.
I think it'd be really good for
Quintessence is awesome.
Warhammer stuff as well. Retreat, I think, is a better keyword than frag.
When a character
Right.
with retreat attacks or blocks, you may pay the retreat cost per die. You clear all damage from that die and place it back in the field zone. That's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And I assume there could be something to give everything retreat.
Yeah, there will be
Okay.
team packs I'm making too. I'm making like a Predacons team pack. I'm making like a Constructicons team pack.
Dinobots.
Blank
Galvatron. And Dinobots. And Dinobots are all going to be like kind of like how the Warriors 3 work with each other. They're going to give each other's gears and boosts and stuff.
Good.
Like the Galvatron. This one's fun.
KO, when fielded, KO all opposing character dice with purchase cost 3 or less. If this KOs 4 or more character dice, transform. Ooh. That.
Then on the transform side,
While Galvatron is active, your opponents must pay 1 life to field a character die. If Galvatron is not active, immediately transform. Fair. Ooh, man. I always like taxing is really kind of brutal. I really like
Any kind of tax deck or something like that. It's just hard to get around, but by that time you just kind of want to put things down and be like, yeah, just go ahead and finish. I'm just going to take the scene now.
like the art on this Megatron team leader card.
Does he have a Planeswalker type of effect also?
Yes, he does. This would be the side of that when he meets the criteria.
Bro, I'm digging that subtitle you got ordered through Conquest. That's amazing.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's really nice.
Thanks. like a whole set too, so not just Decepticons. I also have the actions. I have basic actions. I'll just show you. My favorite actions is this one. This one, I loved making this.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's only a max of 2 though. I made.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
We
Fair
need
enough.
so Dice Masters. Listen,
Ooh.
Dice Masters needs something to interact with the out of play / transition zone.
Yeah.
Since they
Agreed.
created that rule a long ass time ago, they need something to interact with that. Like they did with Deadpool and interacting with the prep area. Why not give bonuses to character dice for how many cards are in your out of play? Like that would be dope.
I would.
Dude,
Yeah, it would
that's
definitely make for
amazing.
some interesting shenanigans for sure.
For sure.
I think more interaction, period, in the game is better, and I'm not talking blanking. Blanking is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Seems to be the
interacting with different
go-to.
zones, interacting with different anything like affiliations outside of the play areas. Like
taxing people to do stuff like in D&D, the latest D&D set, you can tax people to field sidekicks. That's amazing. Taxing people to attack.
Right.
That's amazing.
This is one of my favorite basic actions for the game, for this set.
is this before the changes we talked about or after the changes?
I believe this was after.
Okay. Because I remember you and I workshopped this for a good week before
Yeah,
you finally
yeah, we
settled on
did.
something.
You know, it'd be kind of cool if it had to where if it kept rolling, if you kept guessing right, you could keep re-rolling.
That's what
was-
Grimwald's Fury is supposed to do.
I was thinking about doing that, but then I was like, maybe that's too powerful.
At
I don't
least
know.
yours is worded better than Money in the Bank. At least yours is worded better
Dude.
than that.
Get speak backwards and in Pig Latin, and it'll be better worded than Money in the
After attackers are declared, you may swap any number of assigned blockers and assign them to block different attacking character dice. For each dice swapped this way, your character dice gain plus XD, where X is the number of blockers swapped. Once blockers are swapped, any remaining unblocked character dice are considered never blocked.
I like that one.
That's
a
crazy.
lot.
That's really
Yeah.
crazy.
This was better. So this was better than the original because the original mock-up you had was something completely different. And I think it would had to deal with like transforming characters that hadn't transformed that turn or something. And after you thought about it for a minute, you were like, let's just change it, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. I just scrapped it and did that one. Pretty fun too.
Bro,
I just love the name of the card.
Yeah, this happened several months ago. I think it was like winter of I don't know when, but I still remember this very vividly because I was excited for it.
KO target opposing sidekick die to capture target opposing character die in the field zone until end of turn. Return captured die to opponent's field zone at end of turn. For 4 costs, that's a high cost, but man, that does 2 things. Might even be worth it to make it a 5 cost, honestly. That does kind of powerful stuff.
And it kind of thematic punish and enslave. So you're KOing one of their sidekick dies to slave another.
Yeah. That's pretty
So,
cool.
yeah, I kind of wanted to like make sure some of these I just like abilities you haven't seen before and see what would go thematic with what it's attached to. Example, like Nemesis, Decepticon ship, kind of make it thematic.
Yeah, and I keep on bringing up the whole templating and the wording struggles because with you specifically, because you understand the struggles of wording cards to read to where their abilities read correctly, so that there's no confusion.
Right.
Whereas Wiskid suffers with that constantly.
And that's something that seems like it's very frustrating to the community in general. There are different ways to interpret things the way it's worded, like Money in the Bank or other cards too, where it's like, really, I would think it would work this way, but it doesn't work this way.
Right.
So I feel like if you just cleared up the wording just a bit or add this there,
Or Nemesis, probationary member. That one. That's one I want to know about quite a bit.
So the reason, and these aren't to take jabs at WizKids, or it's to let everybody understand out there in the audience, that to make them understand that WizKids already has a lot going on, so they don't have a lot of people proofreading a lot of their stuff. So some things get by in printing, but once you really break it down and look at these abilities and start thinking, well, what if I tried to you try to do something like what Bodi's doing here, and that's creating concepts and abilities and keywords, you really start to understand the difficulties that WizKids has to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I cut it off there, but
It's all right. I saw you were
I
doing
don't
it,
want
so
to spoil everything.
I got back to where I should be. So there we go.
I'm excited though, and honestly, one of these days, WizKids will be able to say, hey, let's build our own card, because I know they did it in the past with world champs. We've gotten different types of powerful cards based off of the winners from previous world nats and worlds, because they were able to help WizKids and advise them on which cards to design which way. I think Constantine, Super Rare Constantine, was created by the first nats champion.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Ben's making I think he's trying to do something like that. I don't know. He's not allowed to talk about it. He hasn't told us anything, so I assume he's making a card, but I don't know.
Well, Magic used to do it back in the day, where you won a Pro Tour, you got to design a card for a certain future set, and some of the most powerful cards, like Snapcaster Mage, and the other one that is affectionately called Bob. But anyway, those cards were created by people who won the Pro Tours, and so I just think that's really awesome that WizKids is kind of doing the same thing.
That's cool. That would be cool if they let us design a team pack or something, or just name a team pack. Like, hey, this would be cool to take like every idea for every character in the team pack, but it'd be cool to get input into designing actual game, or not game. Oh, just redesign Dice Masters as a whole game. That's what you get for winning world. Just
right from
just
scratch.
design the team pack, and go into like, oh yeah, these characters I'd like to see in this team pack, and have a little bit more, in worlds or whatever. I feel like you could.
Every year you have to learn how to play the card again, and then every year they have to redesign the game. It's like, oh, I can't. Why did we promise that?
Mechanics. Rule books every 2 months.
Something that wasn't on the docket to talk about. Bodi, what are you most excited for out of these next 3 sets that you've seen that's been spoiled? Starting with Gauntlet and ending in the Spider-Man set, even though we haven't really seen a lot from Spider-Man and Dark Phoenix.
Let's go characters.
Just anything like
in general.
a card that you're looking forward to the most.
I'm actually excited to see the Black Order, because I love the Black Order, of course. I'm no secret, I'm a huge Thanos fan, so seeing those cards and how they work together. There's going to be a lot of, I feel like, combat damage coming up, and damage shifting a little bit towards that. Right. You're still going to see those heavy control pieces like Pip and Typhoid, Harry. I'm sure there's others coming down soon too that are just going to be ridiculous. I'm excited to see Moon Knight. They'll copy Avengers. It's kind of like Hope, but with Avengers. I think that'll make things interesting. I believe it's a 5 cost, which I thought was that's perfect. I believe
that's honestly what Hope Summer should have been.
I agree.
Let's be realistic. It should have been a 5 cost.
Yeah, because then you can justify that. 3 costs is like, whoa.
Yeah, but
then Moon Knight was a 3 cost. Can you imagine?
Oh man, he'd be a super rare Hope.
Yeah.
But then you have cards like Becky Lynch, who is a 5 cost, but still very easy to purchase and takes over the game quite easily.
Yeah, which would make Hope and Moon Knight reasonable additions to the affiliation kind of team, because you can stretch for a 5 cost, and there's some drawback, right? There's some delay, but it's easier to do a turn 1 purchase of Hope than it would be to do a turn 1 purchase of Moon Knight or Becky.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of the cheapest costed winning cards out there.
I agree. Yeah, it is. It's a pretty beast. And then like we were just talking about, you got Pip and Typhoid Mary coming down the pipeline, so maybe it'll slow it down a bit. Who knows what other cards we're gonna see going up. Some of the stuff I've seen in the Dark Phoenix set, been pretty excited about. I haven't really seen much from Spider-Man, but I'm stoked about when Spider-Man set
Yeah.
they could do with that set and the team packs that come with it. And I saw some of the Dice Flows team packs, like was it Spider Pit coming out, and you've Spider-Man Noir, which would be really cool to see.
Oh, man,
Not
I
only
can't wait.
action, but the artwork is what I'm waiting for that set.
I think I thought it spoiled Spider-Punk. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Spider-Punk. Yeah, it's insane. I can't wait for that. Just new cars, new sets, just to see who's going to be involved in these sets. Like, I haven't seen much of Dark Phoenix either. You got Superman Krypton coming up too, and it's like excited for that. WizKids, give me a damn Lobo card. Just throw it in there. I don't even care
definitely.
if it's blank. 8-cost blank Lobo.
I'd still go for it. I'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll make it work.
That's what Reg said you'd want, for sure.
You want a logo.
Yes.
You're but a simple man.
All right.
Just give us the main man.
Just give us the main man.
Right.
Yeah, are you guys excited about that's coming up?
I haven't been paying attention to any of the previews because I've been burnt out from them previewing stuff too far in advance, so I don't pay attention to it till it's like right there when it's here, when it's happening. It's happening.
And I'm always excited for anything new coming out.
Joe's party built teams around it.
Well, yeah, I've already built teams around cards in Dark Phoenix Saga.
This guy. Pretty behind
of the curve, man.
Well, I mean, now you guys know why I get burned out so easy with competitive play, because I've already been doing it for months ahead of time. So it gets really frustrating sometimes.
I definitely can understand that.
Yeah. Just wait for. Can't wait for them to come out. Damn it. That's really what I'm saying.
That's what's got to happen. They just got to come out,
Yeah.
Kryptonite Crisis or Krypton Crisis actually promises some really good stuff with the Super Friends affiliation, and then there are a few new keywords that I'm looking forward to in Spider-Man that Jimmy brushed on our last time that we were at Worlds in Memphis. So
In the before time.
in the before court.
When we could gather.
Yeah.
So, actually, speaking of that, we went to the zoo 2 days ago, and it was like walking through a post-apocalyptic world because everybody was in a single file and they had to distance themselves. Everybody was wearing a face mask, and when you go to the zoo, it's normally packed, right? Not here. Like places or attractions were closed down, and then like it just. I think you saw a person like every 50 yards. So instead of like every 5 feet.
What zoo did you go to, Dallas or Fort Worth?
It was Dallas, but I think Bodi's been trying to say something. Say that again, Bodi.
Sorry, I don't know if my cutting out and stuff. The internet might be being weird, so I apologize. No, I just flew back from Florida last Thursday. It was the weirdest experience because all the shops and restaurants inside the airports in Orlando and in Milwaukee, where I flew into, were closed. Like there was nothing open. My flight only had 20 people, which was rad. That was killer. I didn't mind that. I was like the only one in my area for like 5 rows on each side. So everyone was wearing a face mask and stuff, and it was just, I wasn't packed. I enjoyed it. It's like, oh, this is cool. Like I don't like packed flights. Like wait for me. And so yeah, like it's just the weirdest experience because I'm normally seeing places busy and airports bustling. I made it through like bag check and all that stuff, and security in like within 10 minutes, which is like a record.
Damn.
Yeah, not to dog it and not to like trash the economy or anything, but you kind of wish that certain things would stay that way after the quarantine, right? Like, who
True.
needs a flight packed at 99 to 100% capacity? Who needs that?
The airplanes and the airports.
I mean, they're
company.
overcharging anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, but the boarding and like getting through pre-boarding in that short of time, that's like pre 9/11 type shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild.
I haven't been going out except for groceries, so I don't really have any experiences. Although in Texas, it seems like most people are not wearing face masks, not accepting social distancing, and it's just like makes me not want to go out that much more, and it's crazy.
I don't blame you.
Bodi, any more questions that you have for the game room or for the audience in general before we head out? We're kind of we're on time right now.
If you don't mind, real quick here, might be a touchy subject, but I really want to see what you guys thought is like this whole traffic light system. Think it works or no? Or what are your thoughts on it? Like, could it work? I feel like there's shaky ground on that, and it could be better. People have different takes on it. I just want to hear your guys' take.
I think there could definitely be room for improvement on just about anything, right? I think a green and red light are pretty self-explanatory as far as like casual or just hardcore going in full meta. I think it's that gray area of the yellow, how to place that yellow team and stuff like that. And I could get that for anybody who's building for that or anybody who's even setting up the tournament for that. It could be frustrating either way. You get a couple of people who may be on the same wavelength, but maybe somebody says, well, I didn't think it was that competitive, or I thought you would bring an answer to something like that, or vice versa, or even the organizer not even thinking like, oh, maybe I should have like banned that card preemptively, It's hard to kind of think about that, it could work, and anything always needs some improvement. I think a little bit of communication and a little bit of understanding on each part, it could definitely work.
I thought you were referring to like actual traffic lights. I was like, I don't know. I think they're pretty good. They work pretty good as they are.
I like them. They make sure I can cross the road without getting hit.
Why mess up a good thing? Yeah. Speed up on yellow, you stop on red, and you speed up on green.
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't gun it on red? Man, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
It's the stop signs. If they have a white border around them, it's optional.
Oh, cool. All right, I have to remember that.
Every stop sign.
What are your thoughts on that?
The problem with this is the same thing in Magic. Everyone who plays a competitive game or can be competitive in a sense. My competitive is not the same as yours. My casual could be your competitive. My for fun team could be someone else's. Wow, that's super competitive. That's professional level. That's the problem. We're dealing with. If we were just dealing with people if we weren't dealing with people and we're just dealing with machines, there would be no question. Everyone would know how to respond with that. We can give little charts of, well, if you have this to ramp this hard, or if you have this to do that hard, that's competitive, or this, that, and the other. But the problem is, people have opinions, people have thoughts, and that's what kind of makes games great. But that's also what leads to disagreements on power level on any game. Personally,
Yep.
Joe.
I actually echo Mike's thoughts in that there doesn't need to be a middle ground. You're either completely casual with a heavy restriction on powerful cards like Hope, Becky Lynch, or Godcatcher, or you're all the way pedal to the metal. Like, there shouldn't be a middle ground. There really shouldn't. If you want to explore some janky combos that are semi-competitive, then that's whenever you get the bans in place to kind of guide everybody to that and limit their ability to be competitive. If that's where you want to be, that's the best place for yellow light, so to speak, like middle of the road. So you can allow certain things, but not the most powerful of those certain things. And there's your yellow light, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to go green light casual, then you don't allow any of the most competitive things by any stretch of the means.
That's why we don't really have bans in our format for 2-team takedown. The in Legacy polices itself. and
that's
getting
what I like
turns
about
banned.
it.
Yeah. So
Legacies are cool. I like those.
that's what are your opinions on it, Bodi? Now that you got it out of us.
Man, I was hoping you wouldn't turn it around on me again. No, that's fine. It's all everything that you guys said too, and I think Ben brought it up in the chat one time when it was being talked about. That is on how you play. It does depend on, like you said, Chris. With might have a team that I think is casual. Someone else might think is competitive. Have a card that I don't think is that competitive. But if you pair it up with like 3 other cards and a global, it could destroy. You know,
Right.
it's very hard. And I, 1,000 props to everyone that does stream games and the tournaments and stuff like that. Team of the month, WDA, guys in your tournaments, the one shots, everyone that runs it, all content creators, all tournament holders, the way they police and traffic their games and the way they do their bans too. It's not an easy choice sometimes to determine what's the boot and what doesn't.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody. There's going to be people in your audience. I like Ben for his very objective views because he's always going to tell it to you straight, even if it's going to offend you or not.
Good to have people like that.
Yeah.
I always think too, like, me into playing and online was to play at the top level area and to try and win and see how I can compete. Then sometimes I decided that when I'm playing like casual games or if it's a green light or something like that, maybe I went too green this time, and just got destroyed. But yeah, I thought of that. I'm like, the reason I played in the first place was to play everyone from around the world and play different play styles and aggressiveness and control and get to meet these people, see how I can play against them, see if I can them or not. And it's not really about winning or lose, about making a new connection to somebody else and playing a game that we all like. You can play with somebody that you are not within the vicinity of seeing. I can play somebody from Australia or somebody from the UK, somebody from California, stuff like that, which is cool. I like meeting new people and playing. So that's pretty much my view on it. Like it's really hard to determine what it means because it means so much to different people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and getting back to what Ben said, he also said you could bring the same team, but if you're playing someone that doesn't have the most optimal team, you could just not ramp as hard or not do something as optimally for your team to play them on equal level. I think there's something to be said for that because you can change your team without changing the team.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've done that where I've brought something. And I'm like, I brought it, but I'm not going to use it. Like I know in one WDA I might have had like Shriek or something like that, and I was like, I'm not going to use Shriek. Let's just play, and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Right.
Like, so yeah, you can kind of police yourself, but I agree with what you guys said too. There's a red and a green. The yellow is where it gets really muggy.
That's where a lot of communication is going to happen, and I'd say that being really difficult.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, have fun. It's a game that we all love playing. Let's just play.
Right. Everybody's always really gracious, and everybody's just out there to have a good time.
And throw my dice across the room after the.
As soon as I turn the camera off.
But you don't see on cameras what the real story lies.
So I think that's gonna do it for us here, unless you have another question for us that we can milk a few 20 minutes off of.
Oh, man. Not really. I think we covered it. I really wanted to see what your thoughts were on that, and just where you guys feel like the game was going. These new sets coming out.
I could talk another hour about what.
Yeah,
let's not
let Joe talk on it.
I kind of want to pump the brakes on that one.
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode.
All right, so a little bit of a cleanup phase here. Be sure to check out Bodi on his many things that he does. Juice Pro Wrestling podcast. his band Sexual Atrocities. That's a weird thing to say, but yeah.
Your language, Sean. It's a family establishment.
You're trying to make a Texas boy blush over here.
I am.
Good night, Reg.
And then
Hey, Reg.
be sure to also check out our Twitch stream. We're doing lots of things on there now. We're trying to do as much as we can. You can catch people that come on and play with us every once in a while, like Bodi. Bodi's played a little bit of pigs, or gone on there with a little bit of pigskin and wrestling action last Monday.
I do it.
And we also play Commander. We also play, like me and Mike we're struggling for a few hours with Cuphead. We're probably going to continue.
We're going to get through that.
Yeah.
Hell or high water, we're getting through that.
Some of that.
And check out our one shot that we have coming up this weekend.
Sign up. Try to get it in as soon as you can sign up, please.
We are taking people on the waiting list. Ryan has announced, or Gilmax has announced it on our Discord. So please, if you're not one of the 8 people that originally signed up, we do have a slot that just opened up. I found out this afternoon. So there's a chance that if you're on the waiting list, you will get slotted in. So be ready for that this Saturday. And also, Bodi will be in the booth with the guys commentating, which I'm really looking forward to, because if he's a screamer in his metal group, then you can guarantee you're going to hear some really awesome sounds in the booth.
So I think that's going to do it for us. Thanks,
Yeah.
Bodi. Thanks, Bodi, for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
Right.
Dude, I appreciate you guys inviting me out here and doing the fun, great time hanging out and just talking and talking about other stuff too. So huge appreciation to you guys for letting me come out here and just talk a bunch of crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I do
and
best.
we should do this again.
Totally. Let me know. I'll pencil you in. That's it.
All right, everyone. Till next week. See you guys later.
Take it easy out there.
That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.